A hearing is set for tomorrow after the state of Oregon sued the Trump administration over plans to send troops to Portland. Thanks for joining us here at 4. I'm Stephanie Domerat.
And I'm Tim Gordon. After a request from the Trump administration today, the previous judge assigned to the hearing stepped aside. The feds argued Judge Michael Simon should recuse himself because he's married to Democratic Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici, who has publicly opposed the deployment.
Our Kyle Boshi is live outside the ICE facility in South Portland, which is the focal point of this debate. Kyle?
Well, again, today we're seeing a relatively small demonstration, a handful of peaceful protesters, no word on when the National Guard might arrive. This is where we prepare for a big day tomorrow, an emergency hearing in federal court.
Just hours before the state of Oregon heads to federal court, seeking a temporary restraining order to block the deployment of federal troops in Portland, the Trump administration filed a motion asking the judge to step aside. The Fed suggests Judge Michael Simon recuse himself from the case to avoid the appearance of partiality. Judge Simon is married to Representative Suzanne Bonamici.
We do not need and we do not want federal troops here in Oregon.
On Saturday, the Democratic Congresswoman from Oregon spoke out against President Trump's deployment, ordering 200 members of the Oregon National Guard into federal service for 60 days.
This is a gross abuse of power by the president. He does not have the authority to send military troops to a city.
Lewis and Clark law professor Tong Yin explains judges often recuse themselves if there's an obvious conflict of interest, like stock ownership or a close relationship to a party. But asking a judge to step aside is a slippery slope.
It's kind of dangerous. You know the saying, you come at the king, you better not miss. If you file a recusal motion, you're basically laying out to the judge the idea that I don't think you can be fair.
Thursday afternoon, the case was reassigned to Judge Karin Immergut. For several months, a small group of demonstrators has gathered in front of the ICE facility in South Portland, leading to occasional clashes with federal agents protecting the building. Oregon's Attorney General filed a lawsuit and sought a restraining order trying to block Trump from deploying troops. At a hearing Friday, the state is expected to argue the deployment is unlawful. Oregon and Portland will suffer irreparable harm, and local police have the situation under control. Portland Police Chief Bob Day echoed that argument Monday.
I don't see the need for the National Guard at this time.
The Trump administration will likely counter that protesters have caused damage to the ICE facility, hurt agents protecting the building, and interfered with federal employees doing their work.
There are a lot of questions heading into tomorrow's hearing. We don't know what the judge will do or how she'll rule. That decision could come from the bench right there and then, hours or days later, or whenever the judge decides. Either way, we'll be there.
Kyle Boshi, thanks very much. So who is Judge Karin Immergut? President Trump appointed her to the U.S. District Court in Oregon back in 2019. Before her federal appointment, Judge Immergut served for 10 years as a judge on the Multnomah County Circuit Court. And before she became a judge, she was a U.S. attorney for the District of Oregon between 2003 and 2009.